These teas are supposed to cure your slice. What's happening, Panda Nation? Peter Von Panda here. I just picked up these teas. They're 3-inch teas. You can see you get a set of 4 here. Now, they're not cheap as far as teas go, but these teas are supposed to cure your slice. Or, in fact, I think prevent the slice. Now, what you can see here is that everything between my fingers looks like a regular tea. They're all plastic, but then they have this cup, this bowl shape here, and your golf ball will sit in there, and it basically provides this hitting surface where your club is going to come down, and it's actually not going to contact the ball. It's going to contact the back of this plastic tee. And what I think that's going to do is, if we were looking down on it, if your club head is kind of open here and hits it at an angle, this little plastic is going to disperse the energy from the club all the way around the back of the ball and allow it to go forward. So whether I hit it, a little open or a little closed, right, it's going to just transmit all of that energy on every part of the ball that's touching this and let it fly forward. Now, do they work? Well, let's go find out. So I went golfing with these tees, and here are my thoughts. First, they work. So I think they actually add a ton of fun to your golf round. And if you're using a white ball like this, when you're teeing it up, it's actually not that obvious. Now, if you're using a colored golf ball, it's going to stand out, but most people are using a white golf ball. So if you are trying to bamboozle people, it's probably not going to be the easiest thing to see. Now, I also want to say that the tee here is about regular tee height. And the problem with that is, because you can really swing away and because of the large size of drivers, this tee should probably be a little longer. When I put this in, it probably just didn't seem like it was sitting up quite as far as I wanted to. You probably need about half this tee in the ground to be stable, and so you can see it just doesn't sit that high. Now, they don't feel any different when you're hitting them, and so when you're hitting this portion of it with your club face, I didn't notice any difference in the way it felt. It just felt like you're swinging and hitting the golf ball, and so you don't maybe get quite that ping that you do when you hit the golf ball with a wood, but it just doesn't feel that much different. I will say, because you are hitting this flange here, you are basically putting a lot of pressure on the tee, and the tee always flies out of the ground and always flew like 5 feet in front of me. So that's one thing that you're going to have to keep in mind. Now, the other thing I will say is that the tee did not break. In fact, I actually let my friend try it out too, and he never broke one in the whole round that we played either. So they do last a long time. I've seen these sold in like 12 packs. I don't think you need that, especially if you're not going to use that every time. Now, who are these for? I would say they are for just having fun. I know a lot of guys, including me and my buddies, when you're on the tee, sometimes you want to choke up on the club. You just want to give it a huge rip. Sometimes you want to Happy Gilmore the thing. This thing means that if you make any contact, it really doesn't mean that you have to babysit the angle of that head. Whether it's opened or closed a little bit, it will just send this thing flying. And that is a lot of fun. Now, one of the problems with this is that it's more of a directional thing, kind of correcting or preventing a slice or a fade, as opposed to distance. And the reason I think that they don't fly that far is that you're not putting the club directly on the ball, and so you don't get that ball travel and that backspin. And that backspin is what helps the ball climb the air, like a little stairway. Since you don't get that, I don't think you get a lot of ball spin, even though you can really smack the heck out of it and it goes straight. It doesn't necessarily go any further than your regular drives, and I think it's because of that lack of spin. Now, the other thing I think that this would be really good for are people that want to go golfing, want to be social. Maybe you're on a golf trip, maybe you're on vacation with some people and they don't like golfing because they're not very good. I would let them use this, that aren't necessarily good golfers and maybe are even embarrassed to go out. Now you can do this. It's not regulation by any means, but now you can just go out and be with people, socialize, enjoy the event, enjoy the sport without having to kind of worry about putting a ball into a different fairway or annoying people or always hunting for lost balls. So I think this is one of those things that can help people just get back on the course and enjoy the time with people and not really sweat the golf game. Hey, if you want to pick up these tees, I will put a link to them in the description. Peter Von Panda, out.